Look at that cashew. It's almost...
Cashew. Cashew.
Look at that cashew. It's almost...
By whom you were sealed for the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and
Wrath. Wrath.
let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice.
Malice. Malice.
Evil speaking be put away from you with all malice.
Well, I'd like to speak to my team and formulate a plan.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Admiral, for those catching up.
Admiral. Admiral.
Admiral, for those catching up.
Their excursion into Japan's territorial waters.
We still have to offer the Chinese an incentive to call back their destroyers. Whatever.
Destroyer. Destroyer.
Call back their destroyers. Whatever. Still have to offer the Chinese an incentive to call back their destroyers. Whatever overtures we make, I'd like to...
Overture. Overture.
Whatever overtures we make, I'd like to...
Former Marine showed up at the outer perimeter with explosives in a duffel bag and strapped to his body.
Jeez.
Duffel. Duffel.
In the duffel bag and strapped to his body.
Jeez.
In the duffel bag and strapped to his body.
Jesus.
We apprehended him. Press isn't aware.
Well, let's...
Apprehend. Apprehend.
We apprehended him. Press isn't aware.
Well, let's...
Most I could find was some wrangling with the EPA when you...
Wrangle. Wrangle.
Most I could find was some wrangling with the EPA when you...
Japan is also preparing to deploy 3 destroyers and a light cruiser.
They're up in the ante.
Ante. Ante.
They're up in the ante. I've always loathed the necessity of sleep.
Loathe. Loathe.
I've always loathed the necessity of sleep.
Does this mean that we've officially not quit?
We've never been quitters, have we?
Quitter. Quitter.
We've never been quitters, have we?
As our FEC reports clearly state.
Let me rephrase. Did any...
Rephrase. Rephrase.
Let me rephrase. Did any...
What you're insinuating is not only wrong, it's libelous.
Libelous. Libelous.
It's libelous. It's libelous.
Not if it's true.
I won't bat an eyelash. Get him.
My attorney's involved.
Eyelash. Eyelash.
I won't bat an eyelash. Get him.
My attorney's involved.
I have no control over the press, Raymond.
You'll destroy yourself, Frank, not me.
Thank you for that unsolicited advice.
Unsolicited. Unsolicited.
Thank you for that unsolicited advice.
Well, it looks like Jackie may be sleeping with the enemy.
Lanigan is correct in saying we run the risk of libel.
Libel. Libel.
Lanigan is correct in saying we run the risk of libel.
Many of our readers worship Raymond Tusk.
So we just protect him?
We don't insinuate connections we can't back up.
Insinuate. Insinuate.
We don't insinuate connections we can't back up. Right. Walk me through all of this again, point by point.
Stern. Stern.
Well, I think the one thing we can agree on is the ribs here are better.
You say he's just trying to get under my skin?
No, it's not even debatable. No.
Debatable. Debatable.
No, it's not even debatable. No.
I've been in frequent touch with Prime Minister Oshiro and have made personal overtures to President Kion, and I remain optimistic that tensions will be quelled without...
Quell. Quell.
I remain optimistic that tensions will be quelled without... I remain optimistic that tensions will be quelled without any further escalations. So,
Escalation. Escalation.
without any further escalations. So, unless this has to do with the statement I just made.
It does, Mr. President. Feng has ties to the Standing Committee, and we're currently in a standoff with the Chinese. He can...
Standoff. Standoff.
Currently in a standoff with the Chinese. He can...
The Attorney General is going to investigate. But the firestorm this is causing in the media.
What's our course?
Firestorm. Firestorm.
The firestorm this is causing in the media.
What's our course?
As your average citizen, the longer you wait, the more suspicious it looks.
If there's been any irregularity, I had nothing.
Irregularity. Irregularity.
If there's been any irregularity, I had nothing. Hanging over our heads until the midterms?
It'll lose, Steve.
What if it doesn't? I've got the Pentagon proposing tactical drone strikes in the South.
Drone. Drone.
Pentagon proposing tactical drone strikes in the South.
You knew about this.
Just because a client doesn't mean I know everything.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Doesn't mean I know everything.
Bullshit.
Work for Frank.
I work for no one but myself.
Keep telling yourself that.
Unlike you, I don't peddle my goods for who...
Pedal. Pedal.
Unlike you, I don't peddle my goods for who...
Keep telling yourself that.
Unlike you, I don't peddle my goods for whoever can pay the highest retainer.
Retainer. Retainer.
For whoever can pay the highest retainer.
Was I what?
Fucking me to get info on Frank.
Info. Info.
Fucking me to get info on Frank.
Don't doubt yourself.
Seth has gotten over 3,000 emails in the last 6 hours. The phones are overloaded.
Overload. Overload.
Phones are overloaded.
But as long as Clayton West remains profitable, my stockholders won't care.
Stockholder. Stockholder.
My stockholders won't care.
My fear is this. If we wait until the water goes from hot to boiling, we seem reactionary, not proactive.
But
Reactionary. Reactionary.
We seem reactionary, not proactive.
But
In the meantime, I'd like to make some off-the-record calls. You welcome the investigation, it's the right step, etc. Give folks...
Etc. Etc.
It's the right step, etc. Give folks...
I'd like to see a list of who you'd be calling.
Well, some of this is going to be on the fly. It'd be great if I had a little leeway.
let's set.
Leeway. Leeway.
It'd be great if I had a little leeway.
Let's set.
Do you doubt that?
We're flying full throttle into a hurricane, and you're
Throttle. Throttle.
flying full throttle into a hurricane, and you're...
The age of foolishness. It was the epic of belief.
Epic. Epic.
It was the epic of belief. It was the epic of belief. It was the epic of incredulity.
Incredulity. Incredulity.
It was the epic of incredulity.
Moat. Moat.